Okay, for those viewers who are getting into home recording for the first time, I know there's so many products on the market today. It's just overwhelming to walk into a music store and see everything. And okay, someone says, well, you need a mic for recording, and there's all different types of mics. But the three of the most common, you might be using a ribbon mic, or maybe a condenser mic, or a dynamic mic.
Right, those are the three most common.
Three most common. Why don't you talk a little bit about the differences of each and what you recommend for home recording?
Okay. Well, I think the dynamic mic is usually the most inexpensive mic. That's like a Shure SM57 is a dynamic mic. Those mics, the advantage is they're very hard to distort. So you could put that very close to the sound source and have no distortion. A ribbon mic is the exact opposite. That's not only will it distort, you can tear the ribbon. The ribbon is a very thin, made out of a metal element like aluminum or something. Though they have different things that they're made out of now, which have become a lot stronger, and you can get a much bigger sound pressure level without tearing the ribbon. But in general, a ribbon is much more sensitive. It also doesn't have the high end that a condenser or a dynamic mic has. A condenser mic is probably the most detailed out of all those mics. It can handle a good amount of sound pressure level, but not as much as a dynamic. You can't put it as close to the source without distorting. Though some condensers have pads built in, and that pads down a certain amount of dBs and allows you to put something a little closer. But that's the major differences.
So for the people going out and getting mics for home recording, I guess an all-around good mic to use to mic on guitars would be like the SM57 by Shure.
I think that's a great mic for people to buy at home, because even in a studio here where we have maybe 100 mics to choose from, I use the SM57, which probably sells for around $89. Yep. That's my first choice for the snare, my first choice for guitar amps, and vocals, I love it too. I mean, a lot of big records are cut with a 57 or a 58. They're very similar, it's just a different grill cloth on the...
The 58 would you say, is a little bit more common for vocals? You see a lot more. The SM58, so. That's right. Another Shure
but
mic.
They sound exactly the same. It's just really the grill. And one has a ball, the 58, and
right.
The other one is a straight end.
And then if they wanted to get a condenser mic, where do you see that advantage being for the home recording as opposed to the dynamic?
Well, it's a much more detailed, it's a much more expensive mic and much clearer sound. And there's tube condensers, and there's also, solid state condensers. But those are more detailed sound. So a lot of times that's what's used on a vocal, because you want to catch all the little nuances of something. But guitar, snare, the dynamic mics are your first choice. Toms,
right?
Because you're not looking for, you want something more forgiving, is the dynamic mic.